including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. And it's now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. So wherever you are tonight, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm really, really excited to introduce you to our two guests that we have tonight. It is a strange and wonderful coincidence that they both happen to be preachers' kids and from North Carolina, but maybe that's not so rare. They can tell us. I'll introduce you first to Jonathan Byrd, who is in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and he is, besides being a preacher's kid, he is a Gulf War veteran and an award-winning songwriter. His songs have been covered by Sam Bush, the brothers Landreth, Tim O'Brien, to name a few of many. He is, I can't believe that I didn't know who he was until the first time we did shows together. I had kind of heard whispers about this magical Jonathan Byrd. And then we got to do a tour together in Ontario, and it was such a joy to see him on stage, his stage presence and his songwriting and his band, and just feel so lucky to know him on and off the stage. He's a wonderful person, and so glad that he's here. So welcome, Jonathan. How are you?
Thank you. Good.
Yeah. Are you in Chapel Hill?
I am just outside of Chapel Hill, yeah. I live out in the sticks a little ways. Yeah. I don't think it's that rare for someone to be a preacher's kid in North Carolina. there's a lot of preachers.
Right, yeah, okay.
I mean, especially in the previous generation, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought, I didn't intend for you both to be preacher's kids, but it just happened that way.
Are you not?
So
that's
thanks.
Weird.
I mean, I kind of, in a weird way, I am, but yeah. I'm very happy that you're here. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to bring Chris in here in a second. And I know that you both know each other. We all kind of know each other separately. I guess it's just the world of music that we live in. But I love Chris is a self-described poster child for intersectionality, which I think is awesome, and love that she brings that to light, as well as so many other things. She's like an incredible spirit. Her heartfelt songs just really touch me, and we got to know each other through the Global Music Match, which was a COVID project of many industry associations that put a bunch of artists together, so we didn't feel lonely. And so I feel like I really know Chris really well, but we've never actually been in the same room. But hi, Chris, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I was just going to mention that you put out your album in March. Was that delayed?
Oh, yes. It was supposed to come out before the pandemic, but as you know, none of our plans went through the way they were supposed to in 2020. But
no.
Yeah, it ended up working out. You know, my being a preacher's kid, Jonathan, we probably could write songs just about the number of times we ever heard all things work together for good, but it tends to be true. So it ended up shaking out okay.
It's amazing, and it's an amazing record. It's called Changemakers, for those who haven't checked it out, and everybody should. It's just powerful, the messages you bring together in that one album. And so, yeah, really, really incredible. Let's just get to the music if you guys are all right with that. But, Chris.
Yeah, Jonathan's beautiful mug is making me regret that I did not make myself some tea. Water will have to do for tonight.
Yeah, that's all I got as well. Do you want to jump right in, Chris? Do you feel all right?
Yeah, totally. I'm going to kick us off with a song. It's actually track number 1 off of Changemakers. This song is called Exactly Where You Are.
I've traveled all across this land, up the Gold Coast and back home again. Found common ground around every bend, and far fewer strangers than I've found friends. A little princess drawing at breakfast with wonder in her eyes, an immigrant on the phone with her abuela saying goodbye. like a book with a story yet to tell. A hidden gem buried deep within the depths of their well. Hello, how's it going? How's your journey been so far? It's nice to meet you, nice to meet you exactly where you are. I've been from sea to shining sea, from Mendocino to Carolina Beach. And what I found town after town is folks getting right back up when life knocks them down. A sweet widow from Ohio who still sings with every track. A rambling man with his whole life packed upon his tired back. Planes and trains and buses too. Know us and them, just me and you. And every person's like a book with a story yet to tell. A hidden gem buried deep within the depths of their well. Hello, how's it going? How's your journey been so far? It's nice to meet you, nice to meet you exactly where you are. As I've journeyed far and wide, I've tried to reach out across the great divide, across those knowns and those unknowns that keep us in opposing corners so alone. This or that, insert whatever social construct that you like. I hope all our better angels take the wheel for a while. Planes and trains and buses too. Know us and them, just me and you, just me and you, just me and you, yeah, just me and you, yeah. And every person's like a book with a story yet to tell. A hidden gem buried deep within the depths of their well. Hello, how's it going? How's your journey been so far? It's nice to meet you, nice to meet you exactly, exactly, exactly where you are.
Oh yeah, Chris Matthews.
Thanks so much.
Tell me about your. We were talking about Patreon things, and I wondered,
Yeah.
can you tell me what's happening on your Patreon, and also why should I have one too?
I will say, I do not think I would have survived the pandemic with as much hope and love and music in my heart were it not for Patreon, quite honestly. So it's interesting. It's like a 21st century version of people being patrons of the arts. You know, this was such a common thing centuries ago. And so here we are again, kind of in the similar situation. So it's basically just for those people who are like, not just fans, they're like the diehard fans. It's the people who want to like come up to your stage after the show and be like, can I have the set list? Who's got it? Can I get it? Like that group of fans.
I love those.
They're the ones who, you know, yeah, exactly. They sustain us, don't they? So those are the ones that are usually on Patreon. It's a cool place. It's like they get to see kind of your creative process. Most of our fans just get to see what we present when it's finished, but like that creative process of kind of like getting into our brains and how we create and why we create. A lot of people really love knowing that about the artists whose art they really are inspired by. So it's a really cool way for them to kind of get that insight and then also be really helpful to us at the same time.
That's awesome. And Jonathan, you're building a Patreon community too. What's happening there?
I'm super excited. Well, I built a page, I don't know, a few years ago, and I never launched it because I couldn't figure out like I felt like I wanted to provide people with some kind of extra content because they were kind of buying into me more, and I couldn't figure out how to do that without adding more stress to my life and that kind of thing. But when I started teaching again, I realized there was a whole community of people who were interested in the writing, and people who aren't even interested in writing songs. They're interested, if they're fans of mine, they're probably interested in songwriting. And one of the interesting things that I discovered 20 years ago when I first started doing this is that people would come to my shows. They didn't just enjoy the show; they would want to know how I did it. What was my inspiration? What motivated me to write songs and that kind of thing. So I've recently started a Patreon page, Jonathan Byrd Music, just like all my Facebook tags and YouTube tags. It's all Jonathan Byrd Music. And it's really focused on songwriting. So another thing that happened during the pandemic is I wasn't able to write because we all experienced that.
Yeah.
The hustle to put things together. I was live streaming with my band. I was doing photography on the side. I was doing anything I could without live shows and touring and merchandise sales at shows just to pay my bills.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start writing again, and what I decided to do was start my Patreon page and restart this whole teaching platform that I've got and just turn my cameras on. I spent the whole pandemic building basically a little television studio in my house so I can flip 3 switches whenever I'm writing, and I sit in front of the camera and I write, and then I talk to the camera about what I'm doing, and then I share that every week, once a week on Patreon. You get a video. I don't know how long it's going to be. It depends on how much I've been writing or how hard it was to do that particular part of the writing. And you get to watch me struggle with a song. It was great. A couple days ago, somebody made the comment. They were watching maybe the 5th video that I'd made where I was working on this song. And they said, I thought this is where you started. Like it took you days to get to this place where I thought you started. And that kind of, it's like Naked and Afraid, the Songwriters Edition, like that kind of reveal. That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted people who were interested in to say, oh, actually anybody can do it. It's not some alien form of intelligence that only writers and musicians have. It's just that we're very persistent and maybe a little hard-headed, and we just keep working on it, and anybody can do that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. I admire you both for doing what you're doing there, and I think that I might have to join the Jonathan Byrd music camp.
Come on, I'll make you write a song. That's the hard part.
Yeah, I mean, it has been hard for me previously. I think it's going to come back, but anyway, that might be some good inspiration for sure. Would you share us a song with us, Jonathan?
Yeah, I don't know if I should start with this. It's not even my song. This is somebody else's song, but it's a song that I used to teach all the time. And Chris did this great song with vehicles in it.
Yeah, you have to do this song.
and there's this other link too, like where I was telling people the first time I did a show with Chris, I was telling people about her, and I described her as a social justice songwriter. I think that's fair.
Very fair.
I got like a little bit of blowback. Like, is this going to be like a pedantic thing about pronouns or like what? People were just kind of a little freaked out. But obviously you've heard her. Like it's like gospel music, basically. It's just a celebration of who we are and how do we get better and how do we work together and all those beautiful things. And I love music that brings people together. And this song, like Chris's song right there, I was singing along. I couldn't help it. This song brings people together. I played it in hospital waiting rooms. I played it for kids. I played it for seniors. It doesn't matter. And so I think this is a sentiment that we can all get behind. Well, keep your Kenworth running strong for regional, bulk, or hauling logs. Air suspension gives a nice soft ride, and the fairing's got a toolbox inside. Piano hinge doors stay quiet and square, and that hut-bolted cab ain't going nowhere. It's 600 horses charging straight and true, and it's aerodynamic to save you fuel. Well, if you got it, a big truck brought it, oh yeah. And if you want it, there's a big truck on. I said if you've got it, a big truck brought it, and if you want it, there's a big truck on it. Now, picture a semi in your mind, the flat-nosed grill and the red oval sign, the classic-looking semi. It was defined by the Peterbilt, the 389. The new model's got a sloped grill hood, and that lets you see the road real good. And if you like that, that's just fine with me. I drive a 389. Well, if you got it, a big truck brought it, and if you want it, there's a big truck on it. I think y'all know this by now. If you got it, brought it, a big truck brought it, you want it. If you want it, there's a big truck on. Now, air brake and haulers go by many names. They're all a little different. But one thing's the same, whether Sterling, a Mack, or Western Star, a big rig brought it to where you are. If it's Freightliner, Eagle, a Volvo, or Ford, with Playboy mud flaps or baby on board, hauling solid gold or a load of manure, a big truck brought it, you can be sure. Sing, if you got it, a big truck brought it, and if you want it, there's a big truck on it. I said if you got it, Essie, a big truck brought it, Amazon Prime, and if you want it, there's a big truck on it. Well, if you want it, you know, there's a big truck.
That's so awesome. I love that song so much.
So fun.
Me too. Rob Weirmeyer from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Right, a Winnipegian. I don't think that's what they call them, but
Winnipegger.
that's, yeah. I wish I had a vehicle song now. That's great. I remember you doing that song and just being like, I wish I wrote that song. And then you said you hadn't written it. I was like,
Me
thank
too.
God. Yeah, it's great. Well, I forgot to mention a couple things off the top, which is that there is a tip jar. I think it's in the comments somewhere. You can find the link to that. And that will be to feed hungry people in Washington, D.C., North Carolina, and Prince Edward Island. You wouldn't believe the price of vegetables in PEI.
Boy.
Yeah, so that would be great if you can, and I'm just really grateful that we're all here together. I think I had a couple requests for this show, so I'm going to just do them. No vehicles in any of my songs, but I'm going to do this one, which is from my last record, Coyote. And to me, this is just like how I feel right now, being on this show with Chris and Jonathan, just feeling connected with people all around the world, even from my home. I think actually COVID showed me for the first time that I could live here and not feel isolated. I think when I wasn't on the road, I felt kind of lonesome for my music family. And so this has been a strangely nice time for me, who lives in a very isolated place. I've had lots of time to count my blessings, and the song is about that, just being here in the present moment and remembering to be grateful for that and to take care of yourself. It's called Waiting on My Love. One foot in front of the other, that's how we must go. one step ahead of the next, and we'll get there nice and slow. See, I've been waiting all of my life just to be with you right now. Let's not waste a minute of this, it could all let go somehow. I've been waiting on my love, yes I have. I've been waiting on my love. Two little birds go flying high up in the sky. Two little tears come rolling, falling from your eyes. And I never promised you there would be no pain, but I can promise you that it's worth it just the same. I've been waiting on my love, yes I have. I've been waiting on my love. I've been waiting on my love, yes I have. I've been waiting on my love. Oh, 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 oh. Well, some things in life we win, some things we lose. Some things in life are given to us, other things we choose. And I found a gift in you that cannot be replaced. I hope that you know you are welcome here to stay. I've been waiting on my love, yes I have. I've been waiting on my love. I've been waiting on my love, yes I have. I've been waiting on my love. Oh, 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 oh,
So beautiful.
Thanks.
I mostly just wanted to say yes to tonight just so I could come listen to you sing songs. I was just like, yes, yes, I'm trying to hear Catherine sing some songs.
Well,
I'll totally be there.
That's why I asked you both. Yeah, thanks, Chris.
It's beautiful.
I did offer, like, prior to the U.S. election, I did offer Chris, like, I would
Some
pick you up.
sanctuary.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole family is welcome.
Yeah. We're like
thanks.
weighing our options daily. It's like, it seems like we're in an okay place right now, but you know that could change at any moment. This is
Yeah.
America.
I think it seems good right now, but
Yeah.
definitely better than when I first met you.
Oh, yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
I haven't grayed any in a few months. It's been really great.
I mean, maybe we'll just throw it around again. Chris, you want to give us?
Yeah,
another
that
song?
sounds good. I think since I've been, outed as a social justice songwriter, I would be remiss if I didn't do a little bit. This is actually brand new. It's been calmer, but then we have Texas doing what Texas so often does.
Yeah.
And so, down south, Jonathan, we call that when people are showing their behinds. We say it in a non-PG way, but for the family-friendly element of this show, we will say when people are showing their behinds, like Texas is currently doing. This song is for them. This is called, in true Preacher's Kid fashion, Sister's Keeper.
Rage is like fire. It's warm until it's hot. It's quiet till it's not. And these days, they require all the can't stop, won't stop rage that you got. Every time we catch our breath, they try harder to choke out what we've got left. And it's a mad, mad world. They don't hear us till they fear us, till they fear us. And I know this world is hard on you. Come on, come on, come on, we've got work to do. Pay her what she's worth. Say that you believe her, that it's her body, her choice, not yours. Be your sister's keeper. Rage is like fire. You can't tell how far it's spread till you're in over your head. And these flames, they burn higher, like a phoenix, wings spread, rising back from the dead. Every time we think we're safe, oh, they carve and they chip another one of our rights away. And it's a mad, bad world. If you're a woman or a girl, they don't see us, they don't hear us, till they fear us, and they better fear us. And I know this world is hard on you. Come on, come on, come on, we've got work to do. Pay her what she's worth. Say that you believe her, that it's her body, her choice, not yours. Be your sister's keeper. Rosen and Wilma and Sunjoy and Truth, Ella Baker, Rosa, Sonia and Ruth. We are warriors now, like we've always been. These extraordinary times, we were made for them. Liberty and justice are just birthrights for men. When our foremothers grit, bought and paid for them. And I know this world is hard on you. But come on, come on, come on, we got work to do. Pay her what she's worth. Say that you believe her, that it's her body, her choice, not yours. Be your sister's keeper. Be your sister's keeper. Like fire, it's warm until it's hot, it's quiet till it's not.
Oh wow, Chris, that is great. That is amazing, Chris. Thank you.
Hey, thanks.
That is a much needed song right now.
Thanks.
It's just a reminder, like, I just can't even believe that, like, you think that we've made these gains in the legal world and in our culture and society, and then they just are ripped away from us in a moment. So thank you for writing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always assume that things are conscious when a writer does them, but taking a little bit of James Brown, who's like an incredible artist, but also complicated, and just taking a little bit of that and going, that's incredible.
Thanks,
I just
man.
want to just say, as a song nerd,
Totally. Those Easter eggs. You know, I love some Easter eggs. Yeah.
This is like, can you guys just come over and we'll just be song nerds and like.
Yes, but just sit in a circle and just sing. We'll help pay for the expensive Prince Edward Island vegetables. Yes.
Thanks. Jonathan, what do you got?
what have I got? I gotta follow
Sorry,
that.
too much. This is too fast.
Dang. It's like my computer's fan is going faster now because that was just too hot.
Thanks, man.
Let's try this one. Well, I was an oak tree. It took 1,000 years to grow. And I've seen kingdoms come and go, seen the losers turn to lords and back again. I held the rebels when they hung them from my limbs. When men of fortune cast their futures on the sea, it's when they came for me. And I was a slave ship under the standard of the cross, a hallelujah holocaust. And half were dead before we reached the other shore, and the captain never saw the coming storm, and that swept around the Cape and took us by surprise, and only 8 survived. And I was a campfire, a pile of driftwood in the sand, and the only comfort in this land. And 8 hungry sailors roasted acorns that they found, and left me burning as they stumbled toward the sound of a church bell ringing out above the ocean wind. And I was born again. I'm an oak tree out along the wild Cape Fear, and there is talk of freedom here. Where is the kingdom that was here before I came? Where have the people gone who only left their names? A revolution's just a circle after all, and every kingdom falls. I'm an oak tree. If it takes 1,000 years to grow, I'll see kingdoms come and go. I'll see kingdoms come and go.
That's so beautiful. I love that song so much.
Thanks.
That song is a constant around our campfire, actually. I don't think you've met my partner, Mark, but he sings that song.
Nice.
We are big fans over here.
I love it. You know, I have a YouTube covers playlist. Like every now and then I just search for people who are covering my songs and I add them to my playlist, and I share those covers with my fans all the time.
Very
So
cool.
if y'all ever record that, I'd love to share that with my fans.
I'll have to do it sneakily at the campfire because Mark's not really a social media guy.
Got it.
But yeah, I'm so glad you did that song. I love songs. I wasn't sure what to do today, and I reached out to my friend Jeff, and he said I had to do this song. So he gave me a few options, but this is. It's like a classic breakup song. It's not a classic breakup song. It's my breakup song, one of many that was on my last record. And this, I guess, you know when you have insomnia and you can't sleep and you just start thinking about things. And I woke up in the darkness and it was morning, but not quite. You know that? It's been happening again. I think maybe it's this time of year where I'm ready for the day to start, but it's only like 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. So this is where the song started, and it's called The Road is Divided. I've been waking up so early is it morning, and the moon is shining towards me like a spotlight on a dark stage. And there are shadows, and there's this dark where light is swallowed, and I'm waiting knee deep through it where the stillness mutes the sound, and you never come around. Watch the snow melt, watch the sky light up like fire. If you don't buy, you're not a buyer. If you don't fight, you're not a fighter. And there was no hurricane, no earthquake and no thunder, just a mild rain on a Monday. Did it call for something more, for the winds to wage a war? Well, I love you like a mother loves a child. We carried one another many miles. Now the road it is divided. Well, don't get me started. I'm doing my best to be hard-hearted. I got my armor, now I'm guarded to the love that made me blind. Now you're right here being kind. Well, I love you like a mother loves a child. We carried one another many miles. Now the road it is divided.
Wow.
So beautiful.
So
I always just love you two are both just such wonderfully smart writers. I just love just listening to the way that you use the meter and just the way that you craft the rhymes are just so smart and just so fun. I love that hard-hearted. Yeah, just great. Beautiful.
Thanks. You know, Chris, we are both, we have admitted to each other and probably in other places that we are both band geeks.
Oh, yeah.
But I kind of, and, you know, we all grew up in a church. My dad was not a preacher in the traditional sense. But you both had parents who were preachers. So there was that source of music. But Jonathan, I wonder, were you a band geek?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
It was the only thing I ever got like any kind of recognition for in high school. I was a really terrible student, but I did every band class I could do. And then when I was a senior, I had an extra elective. I was able to do independent study, which just meant I could go into one of those little like sound booths, and just do whatever I wanted to do.
That's awesome.
Music really saved my life in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was in. We had a big band jazz guy. Was our director. Bob Haas was his name, and he played in big bands.
Wow.
For like 20 years, and then he started a big band program in high school, which was super unusual. In fact, we went to a conference one time to compete with colleges because there weren't any other high schools who had jazz big bands. But I don't know what you know about jazz, but in jazz, the rhythm section, especially the keyboard, the guitar, the bass, the drummer, there's no written music for those pieces. So you get a chord chart and you know the tempo, and it's up to you to create the music. So you have to learn about music theory. And that's like 100% of what I still know about music theory I learned from Bob Haas. He would bring all the kids into the office. Like every now and then, every month or so, he'd bring us all in the office, and he'd put on like a Cannonball Adderley record. And he's like, "Shut up and listen to this. This is
Awesome.
This is what it's all about right here." And then he would ask us questions about it. It was a great education.
I love that so much. I mean, it was similar for me. I think it was for you. Like it was.
Oh, I lost your.
Oh,
We've got you though.
I can't hear you.
as
I
long
don't
as.
know why I can't hear you.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
It could be dead batteries on AirPods. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Can you
No.
hear?
We can hear
Doesn't-
you fine.
Dang it.
This is the moment. Yeah. Now we're all chatting. We're like, what's
Yeah,
happening?
you can hear me. Okay,
Yeah.
you'll have to type at me. I don't know what just happened. But I'm not getting.
Okay, Guillermo,
The
our
audio
tech
back
host,
from
is going to be typing at you, Jonathan, for the next little while. But
Well,
maybe we'll just turn
I'll
it
go ahead.
back to Chris, and we'll see if we can get
Yeah.
Jonathan's your sound happening again.
As an Android user, I wait for moments like this so I can be like, and you see,
Yes.
sometimes it's okay to have just a brick of a phone. You know, this fancy technology.
Exactly. Chris, before you played the song, I was a clarinet player. What?
Yes, as was I. That was what I
Yes.
went to college for. I was a music education major, had every intention of being a high school band director, and then got derailed by one phenomenal night of music. My roommate at the time asked if I would fill in and play keys for their band. They had a gig at this place called Cottonwood Brewery. And their keyboard player, for whatever reason, was out for the gig. And she was like, "Can you fill in on keys?" And of course, you know, growing up in the church and what have you, my chops on the keys were not terrible. So I did, and the rest was history. I was in love. I was like, I had never even fathomed performing in any other capacity than in some kind of ensemble, playing clarinet and, you know,
Yeah.
conducting a band. And it was just like instant, just love, deep, deep love.
Okay, well, next project that we all do together, the three of us, is going to be a jazz band where we play dueling clarinets, and
Oh
I
my
don't know,
God, that
Jonathan
would be
plays all the other
amazing.
instruments.
Yes.
All right, I'm sending you off with that.
So good. Well, I feel like I should sing a love song now at this point. That last song was so beautiful, Catherine. This is called Oklahoma Sunset. And I wrote this sitting in a field in Okemah, Oklahoma at the Woody Guthrie Festival back in July. I just like happened to look over my shoulder and it was just stunning. And I just wrote this right there in that field. This is Oklahoma Sunset.
Mid-July, Friday night, side by side, your hand in mine, just carrying on like we do. But I couldn't take my eyes off of you. She's beautiful, always. If I'm watching or not, if I do or don't say, even when the storm is rolling in, it doesn't stop her light from shining. She's an Oklahoma sunset on a summer night. Stop dead in my tracks just to bask in her light. Oh, she keeps me breathless. Her glory is endless. I hope her light never fades. She's how I wanna end every day. When I come home from a long day, the sight of her takes it all away. Just sitting on the back porch, taking her in is enough to ease all my worrying. She's got a warmth about her that soothes me, a glow Oh, she's in Oklahoma sunset on a summer night. Stopped dead in my tracks just to bask in her light. Oh, she keeps me breathless. Her glory is endless. I hope her light never fades. She's out, I wanna end every day. I wanna end every day this way. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks, Catherine. Little love song.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm not very good. I've written a couple, but like happy love songs. Usually mine are like distraught. So, thank you for that.
As they say, it takes all kinds of kinds.
Yeah.
You know, love has quite the arc, you know, from distraught to happy, sappy love. They're all love songs. It's just different phases.
Yeah, exactly. Jonathan, can I pass it over to you? Is it too soon? Can
Yeah,
you hear us?
sure. I've got sort of a love song, too, like a natural world love song. The natural world is so important to me. And the past year and a half have been really difficult for mental health. For everybody in this whole country, honestly. Like there's two different pandemics that are happening right now. There's also a mental health crisis that is just across the board.
Yeah.
But getting out into nature and just seeing what happens out there, there's just beautiful things and heavy things, and there's so many things going on around us out in the woods that we have no idea, the lives and the things that happen outside of the world that we really worry about the most. Outside of that world, there's so much going on, and it brings me a lot of peace. And just related to what I was saying about mental health and the pandemic and everything, I just want to mention my Patreon page again, and everybody's Patreon page. So maybe you've heard a lot about the new subscription economy, rather than a transactional economy. You pay, whatever, $20 a month for Spotify, whatever, you subscribe to something that you believe in. And this winter is going to be really tough for artists. We can play shows. We're allowed. It's legal and the venues are open, but we can't make people come to shows. And we've canceled, I think, 5 shows in the past month because, 5-10 people bought tickets because people were just they didn't feel safe coming to an indoor show. And there's various creative things that we've done during the summer. We can play outdoors, but as the winter comes in, it gets harder to do that thing. But $20 a month to support your favorite artist, less than $1 a day, just seems like nothing. And even I do it. In fact, I called my friend Colin Raymond, who's such a great writer, and we just joined each other's Patreon for the same amount. It's just like a little 2-person microcosm of the entire folk world, just passing the same $10 around all the time. Anyway, if you're a big fan of someone, you appreciate their work, you want them to keep doing it, $5 a month, $20 a month. If they have some kind of subscription thing that you can do, follow them, subscribe to them on Twitch for $5 a month, or whatever it is that they do, where you can just kind of give them a regular amount of money. It really helps a lot, and it's going to help us get through the winter. All right. Thanks so much for having me be a part of this too. He hugged the brush and ran the ridge. He dropped down and headed for the bridge. He dropped down and headed for the bridge, quiet as the rising moon. Quiet as the rising moon, I saw Coyote. devil broke the rolling veil. A shadow rode along the rail. A shadow rode along the rail, black as a buzzard's wing. Black as a buzzard's wing, I saw Coyote. And if you look down there, you'll find a trace, a barbed wire scar across the face. A barbed wire scar across the face, fading like a midnight mile. Fading like a midnight mile, I saw a coyote. Fading like a midnight mile, I saw a coyote.
It's so hypnotic. I love that song. Oh. I have a coyote song, but I'm not going to play it.
I was
Next
wondering. I was like, this could be so epic.
Chris, do you have a coyote song? Then we'll just
I
keep
do
going.
not. I'm gonna try to remedy that ASAP.
I love the coyotes. They're all around. They're all around here, and I hear them. Lately, they've been disturbing the geese late at night, so I hear the geese going crazy, and it's like 2 a.m. and my dog is barking. I guess, this is the last song, I guess. But I don't want you two to leave because I want to talk a little bit about what's coming up next for you both. And I also wanted to shout out to Colin Lillie, who is here, who is Chris Matthews and I were on. Were we on like Team 7 or something?
Team 6. You
Team
can't remember
6.
how like controversial Colin's grip 6 was. It sounds very salacious, like every time he said it.
Yes.
With his super thick accent.
Colin Lillie for the win. He is
so great.
Such a great songwriter and humorist. And he's actually joining me next week for the show with Liz Stringer. So it's going to be
Cool.
Awesome.
another fun week. Only I have to do it at like 7 in the morning because it's Australia
The
time.
Aussies. Yeah.
But yeah, so this has just been such a treat to have, to gather together, friends sitting around living rooms, maybe just not the same one. I promised someone I would do this song tonight. It feels like bad form because I did it last week. But I kind of just feel like I have to keep playing the song until the world changes and until my dear sweet nephew Emmett finds the love and support that he needs. So this is for my nephew Emmett, who is a beautiful young trans man on the island here. And he is a great songwriter himself and has written a cool song called Fine, which you can look up on the internet. His name's Emmett MacLellan, and there's a great video. But yeah, he's taught me so much in the last 4 years since he first came to live with me. Now he lives with my mom, and it's a struggle. Life is a struggle for him, and it's been made more so because he hasn't had just the love. He just hasn't had the love that he needs to feel really supported. And so when he was first staying with me, I wrote him this song because I wanted to let him know at all times that he's always got someone who's got his back. So for all our trans friends out there, and for anybody who doesn't feel seen, because there's a lot of us who are hiding inside of ourselves, not letting all of us come out. And he's taught me about being braver and about being myself and what it means to really love and to be an ally. So sending this out to everyone tonight. It's the Emmett song.
Too many times you've been stopped in your tracks, now there's no going back. I'm taking you with me. And too many times they have torn you apart, now we're back at the start. I'm happy to carry you. You're not taking the easy way out. You've climbed up and down and around the highest of mountains. You've been imprisoned by fear masquerading, my dear, as love. Love, it can't hurt you. Watching you walk through the darkest of days.
Lost my train of thought.
Watching you walk through the darkest of days. Your back always straight and your heart always brave. I lent you my hand, but it's me you have saved. Oh, yes it is. Not everyone sees who you are. They're blind to the moon and the stars. They're blind to your beauty. All they can see is one sun. I know when you're one. I see your light never fading. Watching you walk through the darkest of days. Your back always straight and your heart always brave. Lend you my hand, but it's me you have saved. Oh, yes, it is. Not everyone sees who you are. They're blind to the moon and the stars. They're blind to your beauty. It's an Emmett song.
So gorgeous. I love that song so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to whoever requested that for another week so that I could hear that. Thank you. So beautiful.
Yeah, it feels, I guess not everybody is going to see every one of these shows, but some will be, and I'll try not to repeat myself too much. But yeah. What a night. I'm so grateful that you both accepted the invitation to be here tonight. It's such a treat and honor to be with you both.
Likewise.
Really, yeah, I'll just remind people that there's the tip jar, and then, as Jonathan so eloquently put, there are the Patreon accounts, which now apparently I'm going to go make. I don't know what I'm going to do on it, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, I really, really love the support that people have shown during these last couple of years. It is, there are certain industries that just aren't going to get back on their feet right away, and this is one of them. So we're very grateful for the grassroots world that we live in. I am curious what's happening next for you both. Jonathan, what is next on your plate?
The next big thing that I'm doing that I'm excited about is I'm actually flying to Texas. I'm going to this really fantastic it's a studio, but it's also, it's kind of a whole, I don't know. It's an event. It's called Blue Rock. It's called Blue Rock Studio and Artist Ranch, and these people created basically this artist's heaven in the whole country of Texas. And I'm going November 4th. We're playing the show. That's Thursday. And then November 5th is the Friday. I'm doing an all-day songwriting workshop. And then Saturday we're going to go up to Houston and play a show at the Do-Si-Do. And I think that's the last touring or live show things that I'm going to do all year. And I've missed Texas. When people think about Texas who have never been to Texas, just because their politics is in the news, they think about that. But Texas is like its own country, and there's such an incredible music scene there. It's really one of the places in America where songwriting is just at a different level. In the Northeast in this country and in Texas, there are two places where you can ask people on the street who their favorite songwriter is, and they'd have an answer for you. I think most places in America, a lot of people would be hard-pressed to think of like they don't know that Elvis didn't write any of those songs. They have no idea. And obviously in Canada, there's also a fantastic scene, and people know songwriters. So I'm happy to be going back to Texas, especially the whole country, this great scene, and such great fans that I have there. Excited about that, and I'm excited to dive into teaching again. So I'm starting my online workshops up. I probably shouldn't even say anything, but I think it's the weekend of the 19th and 20th. We haven't announced yet, but November, just watch my page, watch any of my socials, I'll let you know. So we'll be teaching live, and people can show up for the weekend, and I make you write a song, and I give you guidance, and we have the perspective of your peers. We work in a group, and we spend the whole weekend, and you get a prompt at the beginning of the weekend, and we all help each other get through the process, whatever the process is, of getting your song written. And everybody has one-on-one time with a teacher sometime during the weekend as well.
Amazing.
So I'm excited to get that off the ground again. And this whole project, I'm putting, part of the project too is that, so I told you I'm recording myself as I write, and every month, starting in November, I'm going to release a video. It's about 20 minutes, all edited down, but you get to watch the entire process from the first time I sit down and I share my really stupid idea that I have with you, and you watch me turn it into actually a pretty good idea eventually after a few days of work, and then all the way until I record the song, and you watch me, and whoever's on the recording, they film themselves, and you get to watch us record the song, and the single drops on the same day. Wow. So the single has a really great story behind it. It's so exciting, and Kimberly Sinclair of Spin Count is helping me, and nice. Ethan, the Tribal Mischief people are helping me. It's got such a great team of people who are behind this, and it's super exciting for me.
I love it. It's so cool and so brave to just let the cameras roll.
Yeah.
It's a little scary.
Yeah, but it reminds me a bit of, I was reading something about Henry Miller and how he wrote in his whatever room, his office where his desk was, but he would set up chairs all around him so it felt like he had an audience watching him.
Wow. So
I guess it's, some people, they like to have an audience. You have one by default with this project.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I just did my first co-write, that'll be the December video with Abby Gardner, who's
cool.
fantastic. She's
so
in Red
great.
Molly. Yeah, she's so great. And we did the first session. We said, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to do a session just like we would do a session in Nashville. We're going to show up on Twitch live, and we're going to live stream for 3 hours, and we're going to sit here and write a song.
Oh my God.
And that's the way that song started, was with that first session. I'd say we got 85%. Going back and watching the original video, I was kind of surprised at how much of the song we had before we left that session.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we just get to refine it. And everything we did, we called each other, and I'd put the phone down and then turn the camera on, and we'd have a phone conversation that you can watch about the song.
That's so cool. I'll be checking in. Chris, what about you? What's happening? What's up?
I just got back off of the road. That was probably the most exciting thing for the year so far. I got to tour with Dar Williams for a couple of weeks, which was really cool. But I'm playing a couple of shows here and there. I've got a big hometown show in DC on the 27th of this month. And I'll be at Old Town Folk school on Friday. So just stuff here and there. I'm mostly excited to be going to Turks and Caicos to go sing for a resort full of lesbians. I am very excited about that in November. It's like I survived this pandemic purely for that trip.
Nice.
I want to go to that. That sounds awesome.
It's going to be a blast.
Amazing. I have been really watching both of your schedules and really, I know that some of those shows, Jonathan, you said have been canceled, but you've both been so busy, and it gives me hope that someday I'll be leaving my living room again. I've been doing a lot of stuff in the Maritimes, just in my little maritime Atlantic bubble here in Canada, but I'm looking forward to, apparently I'm going to Europe in January, but I don't believe it.
Nice.
I kind of just, I'm starting to become a hermit more than ever. So I'm not sure if I am excited, but I think once I go, it's going to be great.
Yeah. You have to come to the States too, because I want to sing the song that we wrote together at some point.
I know,
in
and
person,
the border,
in the same room.
I know, in person. It's going to be so good. The border is open, so apparently I can go now. Thank you so much, both of you, for being here. And
thanks so much for having me.
It's been awesome. I can't wait to see you both in person next time, wherever that is. So
Me too. The whole campfire thing. It's been so long since I sat around at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
Just kind of that's the drug that everyone is sharing, is that you just haven't slept, That's the mood. But these beautiful, magical things happen.
Yeah.
When you can smell each other, it's you gotta be.
I know.
You gotta be together sometimes for that magic to happen, and I miss that so much. I miss the folk festivals and the nights after the shows and all those things.
Yeah, for sure.
I miss it too. Yeah, the in-person experience is hopefully soon for all of us. But until then, be well and take care of yourselves and write lots of great songs.
Totally. It's good to see you, Byrd.
Love y'all.
Love you
All right.
too. Take care.
See you.
Bye.